everyone. According to my calculations, we should be done with this book on Friday. So the last video of Judy Moody Was in a Mood should be on Friday, so make sure to look for that. Otherwise, we will begin the next 2 chapters. Enjoy! Put my bookmark aside. The TP Club. What do you think that stands for? Make your guess. I think it's going to rain for 40 days and 40 nights, said Stink. Judy was hanging blankets from her top bunk to make a rainforest canopy over her bottom bunk. When that was done, she set Jaws on the top bunk for a jungly effect. Who needed a two-toed sloth? She climbed in and spread out her meat collage. Mouse climbed in after her. Don't get any hair on my collage, she warned her. Judy stuck his head through the blankets. Who's that with the hair sticking all out? He asked, pointing to her collage. That's me, in a bad mood on the first day of school. Where's me? Don't they need to know about brothers? You mean bodders? Asked Judy. She pointed to some dirt glued in the lower left-hand corner. I'm dirt? Asked Stink. Judy cracked up. That's for selling moon dust, said Judy. What's that blob? Blood? Red, my favorite color. Are those spider web band-aids? Stink asked. Where did you get glitter glue? Can I come in and glitter glue my bat wings? Her little brother, the bat freak, was becoming a regular Frank Pearl. There's no room, Stink. This is serious. I only have about 2 more weeks to finish. Judy cut a picture of Hedda from her ad in her Luna Girls magazine and pasted it in the doctor corner, right next to her drawing of Elizabeth Blackwell copied from an encyclopedia. She checked Mr. Todd's list of collage ideas. Clubs. I don't belong to any clubs, thought Judy. She'd have to skip that one. Hobbies. Collecting things was her favorite hobby, but she couldn't paste a scab or a Barbie head to the collage. She taped on the pizza table from her newest collection, the one Mr. Todd had given her. The worst thing that ever happened. She couldn't think of any. Maybe the worst thing that ever happened hasn't happened to her yet. The funniest thing that ever happened. When I knocked real spooky on the wall of Stink's room one night and scared him, she thought. But how could she put that on a collage? Judy puzzled over her meat collage until the rain finally stopped. She called Rocky. Meet me at the manhole in 5, she told him. Rocky wore his boa constrictor shirt. Judy wore her boa constrictor shirt. Same, said Judy and Rocky, slapping hands together twice in a high five, the way they always had when they did something exactly alike. Judy and Rocky stood on the manhole. What do you think is under the street? Asked Rocky. Oodles and oodles of worms, said Judy. Let's collect some in the street and throw them down there, said Rocky. Too oogly, said Judy. We could look for rainbows and puddles, Rocky suggested. Too hard, said Judy. Listen, said Rocky, I hear toads. We could catch toads. Rocky ran back home to get a bucket. When he came back, they cornered a toad and popped the bucket on top of it. Gotcha! Judy held it in her hand. It felt soft and bumpy. It's kind of cool, but not slimy. I wouldn't do that. Remember warts? All of a sudden, Judy felt something warm and wet in her hand. Ew! Yuck! She cried. That toad peed on me. She tossed the toad back into the bucket. It's probably just wet from the rain, Rocky said. Oh yeah? Then you pick it up. Rocky picked up the toad. He held it in his hand. And then it felt soft and bumpy and cool, but not slimy all at once. Just then, Rocky felt something warm and wet in his hand. Yuck, Rocky cried. Now that toad peed on me. He tossed the toad back into the bucket. See what I mean? Said Judy. I can't believe it happened to both of us the same. Same, said Rocky, and they double high-fived. Now it's like we're members of a same club, a secret club that only the two of us know about. And now we have our club to put in our me collages. What should we call it? Asked Rocky. The Toad Pea Club. Rare, said Rocky. We could put TP Club on our collages. People will think it stands for Toilet Paper Club. Perfect, Judy said. Hey, what are you two doing? Asked Stink, running down the sidewalk in two big boots. Nothing, said Judy, wiping her hands down the sides of her pants. Yuck. Yes, you are, said Stink. I can tell by your caterpillar eyebrow. What caterpillar eyebrow? Your eyebrows make a fuzzy caterpillar when you don't want to tell me something. Judy had never knew she had caterpillar eyebrows before. Yeah, a stinging caterpillar, Judy said. We're starting a club, said Rocky. A secret club, Judy said quickly. I like secrets. I want to be in your club. You can't just be in the club. Something has to happen to you. I want the thing to happen to me, too. No, you don't, said Judy. It's yucky, Rocky said. What? Asked Stink. Never mind, said Judy. You have to pick up that toad, Rocky told Stink. This is a trick, isn't it? Asked Stink. To get me to pick up a slimy, bumpy old toad. That's right, said Judy. Stink picked up the toad anyway. Hey, it feels interesting, like a pickle. I never picked up a toad before. Now can I be in the club? No, said Judy. I can't believe it's not slimy, said Stink. Just wait, asked Rocky. I'm not going to get warts or anything, am I? Do you feel anything? Asked Rocky. No, said Stink. Oh well, said Judy. Put the toad back. There, see? You can't be in the club. Stink started to cry. But I picked up the toad and I want to be in the club. Don't cry, said Judy. Trust me, Stink. You don't want to be in this club. Just then, Stink's eyes opened very wide. There was something warm and wet on his hand. Judy Moody, and Rocky fell down laughing. Now am I in the club? Asked Stink. Yes, said Judy and Rocky. The Toad Pea Club. Yippee! Cried Stink. I'm in the Toad Pea Club. Oh, he looks so happy. It's so sweet. Ugh. The next chapter, the worst thing ever. D-Day, Doomsday, Dumb Day. Saturday, the day of Frank Eats Paste Pearl's birthday party. I'd rather eat 10 jars of paste myself than go to that party, Judy thought. For 3 whole weeks, she had kept the hand-delivered by Frank Pearl birthday invitation hidden inside the bottom of her Tippet game, where Mom and Dad, who hated Tippet, would never, ever find it. And today, the very day of the party it happened, Dad found out. She, Judy Moody, had just asked Dad to take her to Fern Fangs for some toad food. She just happened to be looking at a tadpole kit with real-life frog eggs. Watch tadpoles turn into frogs, see tails shrink, feet grow, legs form, hoping to talk Dad into buying it for her. When another kid just like it bumped into her, holding the kit was Frank's mom. Judy, Frank's mom said, isn't that funny? Looks like we had the same idea for Frank's present. I thought he'd love watching a tadpole turn into a frog. I was about to buy it for him, the same kit. I wasn't. I mean, you were? Frank's really looking forward to seeing you at the party. Party? Dad's ears perked up. Whose party? Frank's, said his mom. "I'm Mrs. Pearl, Frank's mom." "Nice to meet you," said Dad. "Very nice to meet you," said Mrs. Pearl. "And Judy, I'll see you this afternoon. Bye for now." Mrs. Pearl put the tadpole kit she was holding back on the shelf. "Frank loves reptiles," she said. "Amphibians," thought Judy. "Judy, why didn't you say you needed to come here to get your friend a birthday present?" "Did I know you had a party to go to today?" "No." In the car, Judy tried to convince her dad that there would be kids at the party making rude body noises and calling each other animal breath names. "You'll have fun." "You know, Frank Pearl eats paste," said Judy. "Look, you already got the tadpole kit," Dad said. "I was kinda hoping I could keep it." But Mrs. Pearl put hers back on the shelf when she saw yours. "At least take it over, Judy." "Do I have to wrap it?" From the look of his face, she knew the answer. Judy Moody wrapped it too good for a paste-eater present in boring newspapers, not the comics. Even though the party started at 2 o'clock, she told Mom and Dad that the party didn't start until 4 o'clock, so she wouldn't have to go for the last disgusting minutes. The whole family rode in the car to Frank Pearl's house. Even Toady went along, carried by Stink in a yogurt container. Judy held Frank's lumpy present and fell into a bad mood backseat slump. Why did Rocky have to go to his grandma's today of all days? "She's crying," Stink reported to the front seat. "Am not," she said back with her best troll eyes ever. "Wait here," Judy told her family when they got to Frank's house. "Go ahead, have fun," Dad said. "We'll be back for you in half an hour. 40 minutes tops." "We're only going to the supermarket," said Mom. "But they might as well have been going to New Zealand." "That's pretty far." Mrs. Pearl answered the door. "Judy, we thought you changed your mind. Come on back." "Frank, Judy's here, honey," Mrs. Pearl called out the backyard. Judy looked around the yard. All she could see were boys. Boys hurling icing insects at each other, and boys mixing chocolate cake with ketchup, and boys conducting an experiment with Kool-Aid and a grasshopper. "Where are all the other kids?" asked Judy. "Everyone's here, honey. Frank's little sister Maggie went off to a friend's. I think you know all the boys from school. And there's Adrian and Sandy from next door." Sandy was a boy. So was Adrian. "Look at the yard." Okay, there are the presents. Okay, there's Frank Pearl. Oh, chocolate cake and ketchup. I think that's the grasshopper. Uh-oh. Frank Pearl had tricked her. The girls next door were boys. She, Judy Moody, was definitely the one and only girl, alone, at Frank Pearl's all-boy except her birthday party. She wanted to climb right up Frank Pearl's tire swing rope and howl like a rainforest monkey. Instead, she asked, "Do you have a bathroom?" She decided to stay in the Frank Pearl's bathroom forever, or at least until her parents came back from New Zealand. Frank Pearl's all-boy party had to be the worst thing that ever happened to her. Judy looked for something to do. Uncapping an eyebrow pencil, she drew some sharp new teeth on her faded first day of school shark t-shirt. Rare. Knock, knock. "Judy, are you in there?" Judy turned on the water in a hurry so Mrs. Pearl would think she's washing her hands. "Just a minute," she called. Water sprayed her all over, soaking her shirt. The new shark teeth blurred and ran. Judy opened the door. Mrs. Pearl said, "Frank was about to open your present, but we couldn't find you." Back outside, Brad pointed to Judy's wet shirt. "You guys, it's a shark with black blood dripping from its mouth." "Cool. How did you do that? Wow." "Talent," said Judy. "And water." "Water fight!" Brad took a glass of water and threw it on Adam. Mitchell threw one at Dylan. Frank poured one right over his own head and grinned. That means smile. Mrs. Pearl whistled, which put a stop to the water battle. "Dylan, Brad, your parents are here. Don't forget a party favors." Mrs. Pearl gave a baby slinky to each kid as she went out the door. By the time she got to Judy, there were no more baby slinkies. "I must have counted wrong," said Mrs. Pearl. "Or Brad took two," said Frank. "Here, Judy, I was about to buy these for party favors, but I couldn't find enough." Mrs. Pearl handed her a miniature rock and gem collection in a plastic see-through box. Tiny amethyst and jade stones, even a crackly amber one. "Thank you, Mrs. Pearl," Judy said, and she meant it. "I love collecting stones and things. Once my brother thought he'd found a real moon rock." "Frank is a collector too," said Mrs. Pearl. "All the boys are gone, Frank. Why don't you take Judy up to your room and show her around while she waits for her parents? Come on, last one up is a rotten banana." Frank Pearl's shelves were lined with coffee cans and baby food. Each one was filled with marbles, rubber bugs, erasers, or something. Judy could not help but asking, "Do you have any baseball erasers?" "I have 10, said Frank. "I got them free when a real Oriole came to the library." "Really? Me too," Judy smiled. She almost said same thing, but then caught herself in time. "I'm taping one of my me collage. Besides my favorite bug, a click beetle, for hobbies, for collecting things." "That's my hobby too," Judy told him. He also had 2 pencil sharpeners, a Liberty Bell and a brain, and a teeny-weeny flip book from Vicks. Fun fact from me, I love flip books. One of my favorite YouTube channels is Andymation, so go check that out on YouTube. Frank Pearl showed her his buffalo nickel, which he kept in a double-locked piggy bank. "It's not really a collection yet because there's only one." "That's okay," said Judy. Frank also had a killer comic book collection, which had really old ones like Green Hornet, Richie Rich, love that one, and Captain Marvel. To top it off, he even had a miniature soap collection with fancy hotel names on the wrappers. Judy forgot all about wanting to leave. "What's that?" she asked. "A pitcher plant. It catches insects. They think it's a flower, so they land on it. But then they fall down this tube and the plant eats them." "Rare," said Judy. "I have a Venus flytrap named Jaws." "I know," said Frank. "That was funny when you brought it to school, how it ate that hamburger and stunk up your backpack and everything." "Frank, Judy, the Moody's are here." "Well, I guess I gotta go," Judy told Frank. "Well, thanks for the tadpole kit," Frank said, twisting a leg at the rubber click beetle from his collection. "Hey, do you really eat paste?" asked Judy. "I tasted it one time, for a dare." "Rare," Judy said. That is the end of today's 2 chapters, 7 and 8. Smack that subscribe button and click the like button if you have enjoyed this. Share this with a friend. Thank you. Bye-bye.